Hey, what's up everyone? Joey here. We're breaking down today's trading recap and I'm a happy camper here. I traded really well for the most part. I did have a couple red trades, but they were managed pretty well, so I'm very happy about that. And today I'm up 1,645 bucks, so pretty decent day. I needed this kind of a day to mentally get me right in a better spot. Last couple days just kind of been a little chaotic in the sense of up and down with my P&L. And today was just a good solid green day. And I'd love to put on more days like this. So I'm going to break down today's recap, show you what I traded, show you how I did, and we'll dive into it. So let's take a look here. So good thing for today. Let's see. Well, we've got AMC pulled up, but let me pull up the performance here for today. This is the kind of chart I love to see. This is my performance for the day on my P&L. Look at this, just a beautiful, beautiful run up. I did take quite a few scalp trades, but it worked for me. Good accuracy. I felt more of that sniper sense where I was letting the setups come to me instead of trying to chase certain things. I was waiting for things to kind of prove themselves. Then I'd get in, take my profit, and get out. So it felt very good about today's progress. But I love that line there. You know, a couple spots here, hey, pulled back, that's totally fine as long as they are managed well and they're not a huge sell-off. Because I definitely have done that in the last couple days where I work up to a good profit and then just torch it by taking, you know, two nasty red trades and, you know, burning a lot of my profit. So this is the kind of line I like to see. Felt very good about today. So I'm happy. I'm in that good mood. Anyways, let's see what we got here. So first off, I did want to show you guys yesterday was kind of a rough day for me on HPI. This one, I told you guys I traded a ton, mainly to the long side, but I did go for a short, and it was earlier in the day at 687. So right in here earlier in the day, I thought this was gonna kind of roll over, and I mismanaged the plan on that. I was positive when it was going downhill, and I should have just sold. I was like up $100. Instead, I decided to, you know, see that through and wait for a bigger crash on this, but we didn't get it. It corrected and the thing just took off and ripped. So I held that short position and kept trading it to the long side as well. So I had a ton of scalp trades on it, and I still screwed it up. I ended up losing money on this one, which is sad because it was a huge gainer for the day. I mean, massive moves. Anyways, I held that short position all day long. We hit after hours and I saw it just starting to dip down just a bit, and I figure, okay, this is looking better for a continued short to the downhill, because had it stabilized in this area, would have got me definitely more worried, because I thought, you know, it could have opened up this morning much higher and gone for another rip higher, but that wasn't the case. As soon as I saw this kind of this rollover, it just gave me a little bit more comfort and confidence that this was kind of headed to the downside, because we broke that kind of that support line here out of 811. And yeah, so as I watched it, I decided to hold it the rest of the night. And this morning, took a glimpse at it and saw it was kind of just trending, but it was kind of holding the line up just a bit. But decided to go ahead, and this morning when the market opened, I went ahead and sold it. So let me see where I sold it at. Yeah, sold it. Actually, I correct myself. I sold it right before the market opened at 9:21. I sold it at 6:47. 6:21. Right in here. Yeah, I had an order to sell at 6:41. That triggered. So great move there, because it did have a rip up once the market opened, but it faded after that. So I could have kept holding it. But anyways, I dumped it. It was a $200 winner for me. So that was a good move there from holding overnight. And typically, I don't necessarily like to do swing trades unless they're a little bit more planned, like on AMC. Definitely swing trading that one. But anyways, that put me up 200. So to move on from there, my next trade was an excellent one. And look at this, guys. I only traded 21 trades, which for me, yeah, that's not a ton of trades. I think I average around 30 to 40, sometimes way more than that. You know, I've gotten up into, you know, more than 100 trades before in a given trade day, which to me is a lot. But today, not a lot of trades, so pretty good. The fact that I got up to 1,645 bucks in 21 trades, pretty decent for me. So next trade on the list was DTSS, and this one I just felt like a ninja on. Now, it wasn't like a huge trade, but it was just kind of a sniper trade for me, and I'm glad I got in. So I was watching this pre-market because I had a huge run up, so this was in play for me for a trade. And let's see, I got in at 9:30, so I let it just shake out just for a couple seconds, almost a minute. When the market opened, I wanted to kind of see where it would go, and this candle was, as you can see, up and down, and it kind of had that undecision candle right there. And then we moved over to the next, and that's when I decided to hop in for long. I got in at 6:45 right here, just a little bit of a dip. 6:45, and grabbed 1,000 shares right there. And then I saw it moving up pretty quickly. Decided just hold it. And we got about up into, yeah, it was 676. And I decided, okay, just sell it. And so that was a perfect trade for me because, as you can see, if I would have held that thing, ooh boy, I'd be down big on it. But I pulled the trigger just at the perfect timing on this one. So this was a really great trade for me. That put me up to $500 on the day. So solid trade there. And from there I said, hey, great trade. Now sit back and wait for the next move. Don't go chasing. And it was good for me. So up 500 from there. From there, I moved on over to SGOC. That was the next one in play. SGOC. So this one was definitely in play for me in the sense that here we are, you know, it's moving up pre-market. Market opens, goes into that halt. And let me see my first trade on it. First trade, I bought in at 10:01. So I waited for this to, you know, I wanted some confirmation that this thing would keep going and that it just wouldn't false breakout and rip to the downside. So after this whole move here, watching. I see that it's dipping down here. And boom, this candle just starts ripping up, and I go, here's my chance. So I hopped in, first trade on it. 15, I bought in at 15.96 for 600 shares, 15.96. Which was way high on this candle, actually. Yeah, that was damn near the top. So this actually was a risky trade. I was just trying to get into it and it had moved up so much. So kind of risky in the sense that hopping in it, but that's such a strong candle right there. You would expect some kind of continuation off of it, especially when we're getting to the high of the day. So anyways, yeah, got into it at 15.96 and hopped out right before it went into the halt at 16.09. So decent trade there. Nothing huge, just a scalp, but it was good enough to give me some profit. So went into a halt from there. So I'm glad I sold because, I don't know, these halts can be risky sometimes. When they open up, you don't know if they're gonna really rip up or go down. Sometimes there's incredible chance for high gains, but at the same time, you could be wiped out going to the downside. So that was the first trade on it. Second trade, I'm not going to go over every trade, but I'll dive into some of these for you because I know you guys like to know my share size and my numbers. Okay, next trade was at 10:08. 10:08. Yeah, and here I actually doubled in, so I scaled down on my share size, which was good. Bought 300 shares at 15.34, and then again at 15.47. And I felt like it was a little risky in that area. I ended up selling out at 15.50 for some profit there, so that was good. Good trade there. Let's see, and there's another one here at 10:09. Let's see. In that area, got in. Let's see. 15:09, or I got in at 15.50, sold at 15.60. So that was a good one there. And yeah, just kind of the moral of the story here, just continuously traded this one, and kept watching it. Was new at some point. Oh, we got me, Kevin, over here. Let me pause that. Cool. So yeah, just watching, knowing that there had to be a top on this some point somewhere. And oh, let me show you the yearly on it. This one was in play for me because looking at the yearly chart, we know we had two huge days in the past here recently. And it had crumbled so much that today was kind of that next push. And I wasn't really expecting it to go retest the highs. That's just... That's too high. I would have had to have some incredible momentum. So we did get momentum, but I knew most likely it was going to push, have a nice pop, but there was going to be a top to it. So here's the top. We reached at 19. And at that point, I kind of hands off, just watch it, let it fade, and see where it goes, and just keep watching it. That's what I did, and just it went down all downhill from there. So pretty much traded it all to the long side here in this move. So I felt really good about my position and the fact that I wasn't chasing things as much, and I was just making good scalp trades along the way up, and felt really good about it. Now there was two other stocks I traded. I'll dive into those real quick. WHLM. So it seemed like we had just a few stocks that were really popping up and going, but weren't following through completely. So, but it gave opportunities, plenty of opportunities. Look at this. WHLM definitely had a solid run here, and a little tricky in the spot. I tell you, those halts for me sometimes are pretty tricky. I like to wait till it gets past this area of continually halting. So traded that. I'll show you the first trade on that. Started hopping into this one at 10:43. Right in this area. Let's see, right in there. And first trade on that one, bought for 828, 600 shares, sold at 839. So as you can see, a 10 cent winner, and that's great for me. Like, small scalp trade, but hey, I'll take it. And that was a good move. What else? Next one on that was buying at 835, selling at bought at 835, yeah, and then sold at 845. So once again, another 10 cents. That time I moved up to 1,000 shares, so it was a more significant winner. And here's another one. Oh, this was a pretty good trade here. Let's see, 1054. If I can zoom in for you guys. Yeah, 1054, this candle right here. So we had a pullback, consolidation, and then this huge rip up. So I hopped into this one as I saw it ripping up. Let's see, I bought at 840. So actually really high into the candle. But once again, with that kind of a candle and it moving up to testing the previous high of the day, I thought there might be a significant move there. So hopped in at 840, got filled at 840. 600 shares. sold at 860. So as you can see, look, I missed. I mean, I didn't get the entire move there. And that's, I think, what is kind of key for me, maybe to pay attention to, is the sense that you're never going to, you know, it's very rare that you nail the entire move. Like hopping in here, knowing that this thing is going to rip, hopping right in here and selling at the very tip top of this thing. I mean, that's a massive move. But if you can see here, I mean, for me, to go to 840, from 840 to 860, a 20-cent winner at 600 shares, I mean, that's a great win. So I will take it, 840 to 860. Great profits just stacking on the table. Yeah, so that was WHLM. I did trade it a little bit more, just had a few more trades on that. And look at this. This was kind of earlier in the day, or at least in the morning. So I made it. What was great for me, it was a great feeling of putting on a lot of good profit in the morning. And I remember looking at the clock, and it was only, you know, around well, my time here central, so it was around, yeah, what, 10, let's call it 10:22 a.m. and thinking, hey man, I'm like a lot of gains for the day, and I might just have to leave it at there. And I moved on over. I just kept watch, see if there was anything else moving, and USEG moved up. So let's look at the yearly real quick on this. I took a glance at the yearly here and thought to myself, okay, here we go. Here has definitely shown potential in the past. This was a huge rip on this particular day, or it went all the way up to 1862. But for a majority of the moves here, let's look at the candles. I mean, you have one here at 715, which was a high. You have one here at 813. Here's another one at 769. Another one here at 859. And another one at 897. So I'm looking at it and going, okay, a majority of the time this thing has popped up and has found some sort of resistance kind of roughly in this range. So today might be one of those where it pops and goes up to one of these areas. So I got to be respecting those lines. And if it really rips past that rough area of $8 to $9, this thing could blow up. But got to be cautious that this might be just another average day on the pops here, and this could really, you know, top out and just fade. So that's exactly what happened today. So I'm glad I looked at that yearly chart, got a reference for that. But while it was under that, I still decided to go in for a few trades, knowing that we might hit kind of a high. So had a few trades on it, maybe what, 3 or 4, I think here. Let's look at the first one, hopped in, let's see, at 12.11. So I didn't even trade it in here. I was worried about all these halts. It was impressive that it was moving up, but I decided, stand back, watch it, wait for an opportunity, don't go chasing it. Glad I did that because it did rip down pretty hard and went into a halt. I was thinking that was pretty bad. I didn't think it would recover. However, it did. It crossed VWAP. I decided to hop in at 12.11, right in this time frame here. And as I'm seeing it, I'm going, okay, this might be a chance for it to retest the highs, opportunity to get in a scalp. But being conscious of that previous high at 770. So hopped in at 740 with 1,000 shares, so quite a bit. This one, let's see. Okay, yeah. So this was actually not a good trade for me. It was let's see. Yeah, I hopped in 740 and I went to go sell because it was not looking good for me. Sold at a loss at 735, so not a huge loss. So I really managed that risk really well. I'm glad I did well with the risk management. It started to turn into a loser for me, and I go, get out of it. And that's what I did, 5-cent loser. And I only got 600 shares, I think, filled at that point at 735. So that was a majority of it. And then I got the rest filled let's see. It was one of those where I tried to sell, only got filled partially, and then I had to delete my order and reopen it. Got the rest filled at 400 shares at 7.15. So a little bit more, quite a bigger loss on that one. But I was able to recover. So next trade I went into was at, let's see, 7:30. What was the time frame? 12:39. Okay. Yeah, so after that loss, I decided to leave it alone for a little bit. And that was good because it went down pretty hard, came back up, consolidated. But then we got in this area. I was like, okay, well, are we possible retest again? So right in here at 12:39, hopped in at 7:31. Okay. And then I was able to sell at 7:38. So I should have held on to that for sure. But once again, a quick scalp trade. There's a lot of my winners I need to work. This is something that I need to work on a little bit better, is I'll get into a winning position a lot of time and sell so quickly. And my kind of strategy is that I do that so often, that scalp trading, that it does help me rack up profits. It's like profit after profit. The problem is, if I were to just hold them along, my winners a lot longer, a lot of the times I'd be up way more. But I try to, protect myself in the sense of those downside winners, because sometimes they'll come pretty hard and fast. And I want to protect myself and take my profit while I can. But at the same time, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, as you can see on that move I did right there. So I tried to go back in after I realized, damn, I missed a huge move there. I did get profit, but, kind of missed out on a good chunk of it. Let me see. Give me one moment here. I'm trying to adjust my screen to get to... Yeah, here we go. Okay. So got some FOMO on that and decided to hop back in. So here's like that FOMO, where the FOMO trade got me. I ended up hopping in again at 779,000 shares. So I was stepping up to the plate and trying to get bigger size in there and swing harder for it because of the FOMO and seeing the big move. But I had to sell it at a loss at 1 cent, so it was a pretty neutral trade. But I was just so worried about that risk. It moved up so high because we were up here at this point. So got in at 779 and was worried about it. Had to sell at 778. So neutral trade there. But I'm glad I did, because look at that. It did crumble hard, fast, and I'd be down huge on that trade had I not got out immediately. So very quick trading on that. And that's kind of where I left it, guys. I got up to a good chunk of money there. However, I did have one more trade at the end of the day. I was very tempted to just shut down my platform, E-Trade, and walk away for the day and go do some other stuff. But there was I was doing some more office work and doing some other stuff online, so I just kept E-Trade up, which was probably a bad move, because I wanted to continue watching, to see if there were any other opportunities throughout the day. And there were, but not a ton. So I took one more trade on, it was DTSS. This is the one I made my first trade on, but later in the day, it faded all day long. And then at, 1448, right in here, you could see this curl up. I decided to hop in for a quick move, so I bought in at 436 with 1,000 shares and ended up selling at 442, which is a good move because it was kind of a tease. It moved up, and I was thinking it might try to retest that 459 area, but if that doesn't go through, I want to make sure I just put all my profit and get out. So that's exactly what I did. Got a nice little chunk there at the end of the day. I think it gave me $100 or $200 profit, and happy with it. So that is where I left the day, guys. And that is my performance right there. So I love to see that type of graph. Excellent performance there. Take a look at the calendar real quick. So I just logged that profit for today. So that puts me up $2,467 on the week, which is great. I need to work on those kind of days. These kind of days I need way more of. I need to be accurate, be that ninja, go in, get your stuff, and don't worry about chasing the opportunities. Sit back and wait for the setups to occur and let the setups come to you and then trade it. I struggle with that sometimes because, you know, patience isn't always there, and I want to be chasing the moves and make the most profit, but sometimes you really do have to have the patience and wait for those setups to come to you, and they will come. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity that pops up day in and day out. So to go chasing stuff just kind of works against you a lot of time. I know it does for me. Anyways, what's sad about this so far is that I've had a pretty drastic red day this month, first day of the month on Thursday here, and then a pretty bad day on Tuesday, $800 loss. So with all those green days, you know, 400, 500, 300, 500, those are great days. However, those nasty red days put you down. So I'm only up $624 on the month, which is sad. Really is. We're halfway into the month here. I wish I had more to show for it. Unfortunately, this is the reality of it. And I've got to keep this progress up, this, you know, $500 a day. The $1,000 are great days to put on. And I just can't push my luck, though. I've got to wait for those good setups. Incredible week so far, and I got to keep this progress. If I can, you know, put on $2,000 a week, that's great. That's excellent. But as you can see, man, just this one day in particular knocks out so much profit. I had to dig myself out of the hole, and I'm glad I've been able to do it. But I've only got $624 for the month to show on it. So I think I can come back. I've just got to be really focused on my trading this the rest of the month to get to, I don't know, I'm hoping I can get 1,200 or 1,000 or maybe even 3,000 for the month. I think that's a great recovery if I can get there. Anything above that, I think that's really great. Last month, you know, I did really well on 8K there. The month before that, though, ooh, not good. May was a negative month. Not good there. April was 2,000. March was 6,000. So, you know, I don't know. I've just got to, if I really want to be hitting 8K a month, I've got to just tune in, be focused. This month, that month of June, you know, 17 green days, 5 red. Pretty good ratios there. But yeah, that's what's going to take it, is those higher green days. So far, only 2 red days. But as we know, my red days are drastic. If I can keep those in check and keep them lower, you know, I need to realize that I can take a red day. I need to take a red day, but not the huge red days. That's what is the killer for me, is when my red days come, they're not typically small. They're usually a little bit bigger. But as you can see, like last month, I was able to manage this a little bit better. I had a negative $400 day there, negative $100 day, $200 day there, and a neutral day there. So the first 3 red days I had in June were very acceptable. Last 2, not so much. You know, more than 1,000 on each of those last 2. Anyways, that's where I sit today, guys. I did swoop up a couple more shares on AMC. Look, AMC is rough to look at, you know, for today. Huge sell-off. However, there's a lot of irrational stuff going on with this, I think, from the manipulation and everything else. However, look, I mean, if you look at it, we're still, the fact that we've gone from $15, you know, from 15 to 32 is still quite impressive. We obviously blew past that a while back and have retraced quite a bit. But on the technical side, I don't think technicals really matter too much on this craziness. This doesn't go by the rules, I think, of the standard market. I think there's a lot of crazy stuff going on here. And, you know, the huge sell-off, you could look at it two ways. It's either massive manipulation and a great time to buy in, huge fire sale, you know, to be buying this stock even cheaper. You know, if you can get in at some of these numbers, knowing that we could rip higher, I don't know that we're necessarily going to rip higher. That's my hope here. So, you know, once again, you could look at this as a great time to buy, huge discount, or you can kind of see it if you're looking at the, you know, technicals of it. It looks bearish for sure. I mean, look at the chart here. I mean, huge ups, and then we've got this curl that's just been going downhill. But you know, for Ape Nation, I think there's a lot of people out there holding strong. I'm trying to. I've got a really good average cost down here at 18. But like I said, I purchased some more shares today, so that's what I did. I don't know if this is going to go in my favor or not, but just look it up. I mean, there's so much talk about this stock right now, and how there's so much craziness and manipulation going on to it right now. And disclaimer, I've just a guy here on YouTube, not a financial advisor in any sake, and don't know where this is going. I'm just mentioning, you know, some of my, you know, moves here, and just trying to be real with it. So, what did I buy? I bought 5 more shares, so not much, at 32.77. And I think they're just trying to do everything in their power to just tank this thing. But we'll see. We'll see if the Ape Nation can hold strong on this and pull through. I don't know what's going to happen, but you know, don't go risking your life savings on any kind of crazy move like this. I don't think that's necessarily a good idea either. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Very interested to see where this goes. Very curious. Anyways, guys, really hope you enjoyed the content today and the recap. It was a good day. I'm happy about it, and you could tell I'm in a better mood. So that's where I'm leaving it today. I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed your day. I hope you made some good money today. And if you didn't, hey, hang in there. Trading is difficult. It's tough. It's very risky. But if you know, put in enough practice and experience, I think, you know, you can do well if you really get focused and work on preserving your capital. So anyways, guys, I've rambled enough. I don't know I'm talkative today. Anyways, that's it for now. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.